Urgh. So, welcome to Fireside Chats. I had uploaded a pretty lengthy 30-minute live stream reacting to the Picard trailer at Comic-Con 2019. I was somewhat favorable in my comments, and GreedBS decided to throw a monkey wrench in everything and copyright strike my channel for it, those scum. So we're going to do things a little bit differently this time. We're going to go through a few frames from the trailer, and I'm going to provide some in and out of context commentary on it. Does that sound fun? With that, let's go ahead and get started here, and hopefully Adobe won't crash on me again, because that was another 2 hours of work down the drain, and fuck, I just put the final touch on it and I had to do it all over again. So here we go. So, after we see Picard walking in a vineyard, we come to a wide shot of Chateau Picard. And this is very different from what we saw in the episode Family from Season 4, Episode 2. It seems that Picard, after losing his brother Robert, his sister-in-law, and his nephew Rene in a fire, has really gone all out with the insurance money here and decided to go with a fire-retardant material, which is probably a wise idea, because I imagine after losing pretty much all of your entire family in a fire, you probably don't want to make that same mistake twice. And it does look like he went a little overboard here, because that looks like a lot of house for one old man. Here we have what appears to be kind of a DS9 era, TNG movie era comm badge. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the little gold part on the back with the slot, the parallelogram part, I seem to recall that being lower and being a little larger. Also, I don't recall there being, I recall them being kind of convex, not concave. So maybe I'm wrong on that. But in any case, the old man certainly spared no expense when it came to, a jewelry box or a place to put the comm badge. I mean, you'd never think something like that would be in there. Maybe like, a locket of Beverly Crusher or Vosh or someone else, but not a comm badge. Interesting. So there's been a lot of speculation as to whether this person is Shinzon's daughter or part Romulan. Here in this picture, this still, you can clearly see the round human ears. And so obviously I'm assuming she's some sort of humanoid. Now, she's coming here asking for Picard's help, but later on in the trailer, you really see her busting a move with some karate. So, she's doing backflips and front flips and high kicks, and then she does a backflip off the stairs and gets beamed out somewhere. Beamed here, there, and everywhere. I don't know if the beaming's part of her martial arts or not, but seems pretty badass for a chick asking for help. But, yeah, I don't know who she is, but she seems to be pretty central to the story, and as you can see from the round ears, doesn't even appear to be partially Romulan, though I could be wrong. OMG! It's B4. B4 in a drawer. It's like I'm a poet, and I didn't know it. Brent Spiner has confirmed that it is indeed B4 in the drawer, and also that Mr. Data will be making an appearance. I don't know how Mr. Data will be in it, but he did say that Data will be in 1 or 2 episodes, so I guess if you want someone to keep a secret, you don't want to tell Brent Spiner, because he's going to give it up and tell everybody. So there you have it. This is, in fact, B4. Oh my gosh. Somebody call Greenpeace. Look at all that water waste. My goodness. So I think we may have a motivation for Picard's leaving. Picard obviously can afford a drip system for this vineyard, but he's opting instead to go with a highly wasteful irrigation method for his grapes. So I think my theory is that, a bunch of SJW types showed up outside his vineyard and, like, oh, you're a water waster, you're a terrible person, you're a warmonger, you and your white privilege, and, just like, you don't deserve to live in a a giant castle with a vineyard. You're just one person, you water-wasting scum. Get out of here, you evil white male. So that's what I think's happening. That's probably why it didn't feel like home. That's probably why he's leaving. Look out, Tennikin! Buzz droids! So that's what it reminds me of, anyway. So you have little, can't tell if they're Klingon or Romulan craft. Knowing this set of showrunners, probably Klingons, but you never know. Anyway, I have no context here. I don't know what the ships are, what they're flying to. Looks like they're flying to Mars. And I think one of the short treks that was announced references Mars. I'm actually quite concerned because, well, I guess I shouldn't be concerned. I shouldn't even be surprised. The short treks are going to tie Picard to Star Trek. Excuse me, threw up in my mouth a little bit. Star Trek Discovery. So, I don't know. Michael Chabon wrote them, so hopefully it'll be more like the Calypso short trek where it's like, yeah, it ties into Discovery, and it has nothing to do with Discovery. We'll see. OMFG. Is Captain Picard Day a galactic holiday now? Is Captain Picard having a flashback? Has his aromatic syndrome kicked in, and it's a hallucination? Is it bad show running from Kurtzman and crowd, where this is supposed to be passed off as a redress of the observation lounge from The Next Generation? Who knows? But I think maybe, this is probably a pretty cheap way to get people's hype and emotions stirred. And it's an interesting choice that they selected this. 'Cause I don't recall that being the best episode in the world. But I like the idea of it being a galactic holiday. Hey, maybe the whole galaxy celebrates Captain Picard Day. Maybe it's become like a Federation holiday. It's celebrated everywhere. Romulus, Earth, Vulcan. How much you want to bet it this doesn't appear in the actual series? But we'll see. So this appears to be like a Borg jail or something. You have Romulan-esque looking people with phaser rifles. And if you look there, it has a sign that says, "This facility has gone 5,843 days without an assimilation." Oh, what a card. You know what, that humor is the funniest thing I've heard since Star Trek V, when they had the sign above the toilet that said, "Do not use in space dock." Maybe we'll get a lot of this humor in Star Trek Picard. Funny signs like that. Incidentally, if anybody cares, that works out to 16 years, so could be a clue. But, kind of groan-worthy humor, if you ask me. So I'm not quite sure is going on here. Boy, Kurtzman and company sure do like their elves, don't they? Elves and orcs and that kind of stuff. So, Vulcan babyface samurai here. He and Picard play patty cakes, I guess. And then, I don't know, they end up walking off together. And so, Vulcan samurai patty cakes babyface here. I don't know, the dude goes around carrying a sword, and maybe it's one of Sulu's descendants or something. He's really into fencing, Looks vaguely like a Sulu. I wouldn't put it past this crowd to tie that together. We'll see. We are GreedBS. You will be assimilated. Your content will be copyright struck. You will escort us to Sector 001, where your content will be assimilated or blocked by copyright claim. Resistance is futile. Now you're talking. So it looks like Picard has given up the grapes and is pouring a nice little tumbler of whiskey here. And it looks to me like that whiskey bottle's half empty. Or as I like to say in my world, half full. Ooh la la. Well, Jerry Ryan certainly has aged well. And it looks like everybody's favorite Bilf is back for more. She does seem to have a thing for older men, doesn't she? So is Picard the rebound dude from Chakotay? What is the reason for 7 of 9's visit? Could this be it? It's confirmed that this is Hugh from The Next Generation. And here's my pet theory about what's going down. Picard has seen the condition that Hugh is in, and he's contacted 7 of 9 so that she can get in touch with the doctor, and the doctor can provide the same sort of plastic surgery on Hugh that he did on 7 of 9, and ultimately Hugh is going to end up being a very attractive blonde woman. That's my theory anyway.
They call it a sling blade. I like a sling blade. Picard, you're my friend. Is that a portable transporter? You're my friend. I like a sling blade.
Kidding aside, Data certainly, the de-aging they did on Brent Spiner here, well, they certainly eliminated the wrinkles. Brent Spiner appears to have gained a little bit of weight here, so it looks a little bit puffier than he did during the movies. And it looks like they really tried to take attention away from that by making his eyes super big and yellow. Interesting. Well, you know, we had good acting in Star Trek Discovery too, so, I mean, who knows what'll happen. Hopefully we won't be seeing them completely shit on the franchise. Anyhow, this has been my breakdown of Star Trek Picard, the San Diego Comic-Con 2019 trailer.